Hey guys, we are live. Yay! Welcome to the secrets of intermittent fasting success. I'll give everyone a few moments just to join. Come and say hi. Say hi, and in the box, you should be able to find a box to chat any questions or comments in. If you're on live, I would love to know who is here with me. Say hi and where you're from in the world, in this beautiful world that we're in. I'm currently in Australia, in my hometown of Newcastle, and it's absolutely freezing today. It's dropped like at least 5 or 6 degrees, so that's what I'm dealing with. What a beautiful world. But yeah, say hi, say where you're from. I think there's a little bit of a delay as well, so don't mind me. I'll just continue filling in the gaps of chat whilst the delay happens, but I can see everyone's coming on online and joining, which is awesome. So come online because we're going to kick off straight away. I want to keep this. I love that we respect time. I love that you're joining me, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. But I'm also going to really respect your time and give you as much as I can in the shortest amount of time possible, so that we can carry on with our evenings, with our days. Hopefully, feeling inspired to do something about intermittent fasting, but. Say hi so I can see that this is working and that you guys can hear me. I just want to make sure that that's all good. Anybody, if anybody's out there. Otherwise, I'm going to kick off. Cool. All right, let's go. Thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to, once we're all here, I'm just going to go onto a slideshow, so you won't have to deal with my face this whole time. I'm going to show you some slides and basically get into it. So let me just do this now. All right. There might be a few people that come on late, which is also good. Let me just... yeah, people might come on late, and that's also fine, but I want to roll into it because we don't have a lot of time today, and I want to make the most of it. So, the secrets to intermittent fasting success. Hey? This is a question that we all want to know, right? Now, intermittent fasting has been something that's come up for us a lot. And if you're here from the Fasting Summit, then this is something that you learn a lot about recently with loads of different speakers. And this is something that still continues to come up with a lot of people coming into the group and coming into chatting, people really interested in intermittent fasting, which I think is great. Because why would we be interested in intermittent fasting? Well, today you're going to learn how intermittent fasting will help you to maximize fat burning, boost your energy levels, create a lifestyle that will make you feel and look better. And who doesn't want any of that, right? And so we're going to take you through these 3 steps, but we're also going to look at how intermittent fasting exploration so that you can find out what works best for you and your body type. We're going to look at the science and what that's saying. So it's in order to help you to understand if you're on the right track. And we're looking at 3 bonus tips to maximize your energy, detox, and help you lose any stubborn fat faster. And I'm also going to show you how you can dive deeper into intermittent fasting with our program. Does that sound good? Good. Can people see slides? No. Okay. Let me just wait a second. Let me figure this out. Can we see me now? Is this me? Sorry, technical difficulties. Let me just see if I can get this working. Apologies. You can hear me. Yes, perfect. Good. I can hear you fine. Oh, look at all these people joining me from all around the world. I love this. Perfect. Can you guys see the slides? Can someone let me know if you can see my slides? Just looking at it from my phone. No slides. Okay. How interesting. Can you just see my face? Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. Let me start again. How do we go now? Can we see slides? Yay. Okay, we can see slides. Perfect. Face only. Can you hear? Okay. We're back. Okay, sorry about that little malfunction. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for sharing that. Maybe you just wanted to see my face for a little bit longer. I don't know. That's fine. That's fine if you wanted that. Okay, the secrets to intermittent fasting. Let's get back to it because, like I said, this is something that comes up a lot. People are particularly interested in intermittent fasting, which I think is great. And this is also one of the things that transformed my life. And so it's so fitting that it's coming up in mainstream right now, and I think it's so great that it's doing this whole 180. It's coming back from our ancestors, from ancient cultures that they lived by, and it's coming into the mainstream, which is super exciting. So today we're going to learn about maximizing fat burning, boosting energy levels, and creating a lifestyle that will make you look and feel better. We're also going to look at intermittent fasting and what it's all about and how it can make it work for you. So intermittent fasting exploration, so that you can find out what works best for you and your body. We'll look at what science is saying in order to help you understand if you're on the right track. We've got 3 bonus tips to maximize your energy, detox, and help you lose any stubborn body fat faster. And I'm also going to show you how you can dive deeper into intermittent fasting with our intermittent fasting program. Does that sound good? I want a hell yes in the box because I'm looking at all your comments. Hell yes, because thanks, Tracy. Pretty face. If you're with me, I know there's a little bit of a delay, but Okay, I'm also going to share with you an approach that has worked for me personally. But hold up, who am I? That's a great question. Now, a lot of you probably know me, but for those who don't know me, or you're thinking, who is this absolute clown that couldn't even get slides to work? I'm Sam Asser. I'm the host of the annual Fasting Summit. Now, I've interviewed over 70 expert speakers on fasting. So this is including Joe Cross, Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Alan Goldhammer, Dr. Joel Furman, Dr. Dan Pompa, Emily Minogian, Don and Tyler Tolman, Dr. Andrea Page, Professor Volta Longo, and just so many incredible humans that are doing incredible work in the world on fasting in so many different areas. And I think they all, I'm in a great position because I can interview them all having this, open mind and allowing them to share what's worked for them and what's worked for their clients and what they're sharing. And I think that's truly powerful that there's a lot of people doing exceptional work in the world. And so I love being in that place of, it's kind of like a bridge where I can chat to Joe Cross in depth and understand what he knows, what's the most cutting edge information he needs to let us know about juicing and about how we can heal our bodies. And then I'm this bridge that can then bring it to a platform to share it with a wider audience, to share it with you guys, so that in order for you to make changes in your own life. And that really inspires me. I love being in that position. But what I'm also noticing is that there's so much information, and so many people get confused and we don't know which way to look. And I get that I'm sitting on the other end of that constantly. Every day I'm hearing somebody tell me something different than the day before. And I think, we spend a lot of the time being confused by that and we get overwhelmed and bombarded. But the thing is, let's spin this around a second, because I've started to really spin this around. And I think about all the people that I'm connecting with and the things that I'm learning, and I'm going, do you know what? This is incredible. This is incredible that we have this wealth of knowledge, that we're able to learn from this amount of people, and this amount of people are willing to step up in the world right now and share their truth and share what's true to them and what's worked for them. But you know what? Every speaker has one thing in common that they say, and they say that no one shoe fits all. And not one thing is going to heal somebody like it did the person sitting next to them. And so the thing that we've got right now is this power and this resource and this access to incredible people willing to put themselves up there to share this information and to share what's worked for them and their clients in order for you to find what works for you. Now, as much as I'm a firm believer in, but you need to find the track that works for you and take action and move those steps, and we'll get to that soon. There's also so much amazing information out there that it's easy to get overwhelmed and bombarded and do nothing. Or you take a spin on that and you go, do you know what? There's so much amazing information, but right now I'm really intrigued by intermittent fasting, and that's the road I'm going to go down, and I'm going to take action on that. But you explore, and if it doesn't work, then do you know what? I'm going to go to Joe Cross and I'm going to learn about juicing. Like, there's so much information that can really work in our power. So remember that. On top of all of the noise, though, that's out there, we seem to be living in a society that's after a quick fix for everything. Now, let's just let that sink in a little bit. People seem less willing to want to do the work, stick to something for long enough to actually see results or make a change that isn't in the form of popping a pill or having a shake. Can you relate? Because change isn't easy, and I get that. I totally get that. And in fact, if change was easy, then, there's probably going to be a lot of people that would be happier in their jobs and happier in their relationships and doing more things in the world instead of just dreaming and not settling. And that's the fact of the reality, is that people aren't fulfilled and they aren't doing the things that they love because change is hard. Especially when you have a family, or when you're in a partnership, or when you've got things that are tying you to a certain situation or a circumstance. We hold on to those, and change is even harder. So I get that. I've been there. To go into a bit of my health journey, I actually suffered from bloating, unbalanced hormones, irregular and painful periods, mood swings, food cravings, binge eating, low energy levels, constantly sick and injured. All of these things constantly. And I was always the one that was on all of the diets, all of the health kicks, the 6-week challenges. I'll start on Monday mentality, but it never worked. Has anyone else been there? Yeah, we've been there, right? And it's hard because change is hard. And a lot of the time you have to stick to something for a long enough period in order to see results, and sort of in order for the habit to shift in your body chemistry, in order for the results to come, for you to actually go, do you know what? Perfect. This is great. And unless we're changing on an emotional level, then often we can go right back to where we started. But this is what happened. I began intermittent fasting. This is when my journey began. I started to eat within an 8-hour window. Actually, before that, let's go back to before that. This is the moment when I woke up and I went, do you know what? I'm over this. I'm over the bloating. I'm over unbalanced hormones. I'm over feeling like this. I'm over not having a lust for life. I'm over not having a purpose. I'm not knowing why I'm here. Low energy constantly. I'm always sick. I'm always injured. I've always got these excuses. I'm over that. I'm over waiting until Monday. And by the way, this wasn't a Monday. This was like a Thursday. I'm over waiting until Monday. And that penny dropped. And I think when that penny drops big enough and you're willing to make an emotional shift, an emotional trigger has gone off, then it's like, holy, get out of the way, because this is happening. So I began to eat within an 8-hour window. And after that, already I noticed that I was snacking less often, because I think it's Lee Holmes talks about in the Fasting Summit. She says that the more you snack, the more you want to snack. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. Is the moment that you eat, then you continue to eat more. So at times that I'm eating at start eating at 8 a.m. in the day, then when it gets to 12 p.m., I've already eaten what I would normally eat in a day, just in a couple of hours, just because you just get on this roll. So snacking was a huge thing for me. My whole my whole upbringing, I was constantly snacking. I'd love my snacks at school. I remember I'd come home and I'd be snacking, what can I continue to eat? And it was never having these big main meals. It was constantly snacking. So this is something that I've really struggled with. As soon as I began eating within this 8-hour window, I automatically noticed I snacked less often. I also made better food choices and decisions. So instead of wanting to, go out and splurge and have a burger and fries or something, I literally got excited about, okay, what can I make in my kitchen that's really nourishing and healthy to me? For a while there, I was really craving just raw goodness, and I would have some quinoa, and I'd have some veggies, and I'd make a guacamole with avo, and just things like this. And it was actually really exciting for me. So I was beginning to make better food choices, because I was building a better relationship with my body and with my food. And so growing up and up until this point when I started this, I had a terrible relationship with my body and with food. And so all of those health kicks and those 6-week challenges and things that I did, I would always cave, because someone would be dangling some sort of food in front of me, or someone would say, hey, let's just go out for a pizza night. It can be our cheat meal. And then that night turned into 3 nights, and then it turned into a binge day. And then I just had a terrible relationship with understanding what was good and understanding what my body needed and understanding what it was triggering to go in a negative direction. And I didn't know how to manage that. I didn't respect myself enough to want to manage that. I didn't treat my body like a temple that it is. And I didn't have a good relationship with food. And so I would always opt for the easy takeaway, or, going out, instead of actually nourishing my body with what it needed. So that's what I began. Now, instantly, here's what I discovered. That I felt better than I'd ever felt. I had more focus and more energy. I felt more creative. I felt more happy, and I felt more positive. And I was never really not a positive person, but I think there's a difference between when you're trying to be positive to when it's just coming naturally. And this is just what happened naturally. I just started to be more creative, and I started to be happier about little things in life and positive. And, I was living in Melbourne at the time. I remember this, and I would be on the train to work, and seeing everyone depresso on their way to work. And I'd be smiling for and seeing people's reactions. And that's actually something that I love doing now. Walking by someone and smiling and seeing how they react, and just these inner things that were making me feel so much happier within myself. And it was really starting to spiral out into my life. Within a few months, my periods regulated. This is massive, because a lot of women get scared about intermittent fasting. And I think we're told a lot that intermittent fasting isn't great for women because of the changes that we go through monthly. Well, do you know what? This actually helped me. They were pain-free. I used to get the worst period pains, and they would be terrible and heavy. Sorry, guys. But they were horrific. And I really dreaded that month, right? That time of the month. And then they started to become really irregular. So I had no idea when to be expecting them or when they were coming. But in just a few months, they regulated, and then they literally come on the dot. It's like clockwork. But I don't have any, because I had changed my diet and I had this better relationship with food and with my body. Then what I was putting in was better choices, which makes the pain go away. So once you're inundating your body with healthy goodness foods, then you shouldn't, periods aren't meant to be painful. They're meant to be just this natural process that, that's not meant to be painful for women. Unfortunately, so many people suffer. And this is what happened for me. My bloating also stopped instantly. So after every meal when I ate, then I felt so much better because my bloating, I didn't get bloated after I ate. I didn't spend half of my day walking around bloated. I felt better in my clothes. So this also is a massive thing that I think people deal with, and you put it down to a lot of different things. Well, I literally just shifted my eating window, and that happened. My lifestyle changed. I was motivated to get up earlier. I brought mindfulness into my life, which is incredible. And I started building these practices in, and my cravings reduced, and I was excited about eating healthy foods. Now, this is massive. I used to want chocolate all the time, and I used to want sweets, and I'm not saying that those things don't creep in now, but they're definitely less. I have more control over them. Instead of it being this binge where I literally can't control myself, I have so much more control, and I'm so aware that that's just what my body feels like, and I can have a little bit of sweet stuff and then I'm good, opposed to before when I would literally go crazy person on the, on the chocolate or whatever it was. And I would also opt for bad choices, whereas now literally my greatest joy is dates and peanut butter. That's such a joy. Natural Snickers. If you haven't tried it, I'm sorry if you get hooked. Don't blame me, but it's actually amazing. So going for these healthier foods, healthier choices is also what tends to happen. Plus, for all you visual learners out there, I don't really like to put this out there a lot, but hey, I feel like this was relevant, and sometimes we just need to see a bit of an image to get inspired. For the first time, I actually wasn't trying to lose weight, but I naturally leaned out and reduced my body fat. Now, this happened just within 3 months. So this shows how quickly things can shift and can change. So all of these things played a part. And I think your mindset has a massive thing to do and to add to this. I think when you're trying so hard to lose weight and it's not working, then what are you focusing on? You're focusing on the fact that you can't lose that weight. And so you're focusing on the fact that you're not where you want to be. And so you're holding on to that. You're not going to change by, constantly thinking about the negative, right? And so for the first time, I really let go of any outcome. I wasn't attached to needing to be a certain weight or wanting to lose any weight. I literally was feeling so amazing from doing this intermittent fasting, watching all of these different approaches and different areas shift within my life, that it naturally just happened. And do you know what? I didn't even notice, but I kept getting comments, people kept saying it to me. And I also started to feel my pants start to fall down all the time and notice that things were different. And so this does really go to show that the moment that you can work on your mindset and have a positive outlook and not be so attached to some sort of result that you need, and chill out a little bit and just trust the process, then the moment and you do something drastic like I did, intermittent fasting for the first time, then your body goes, hang on a second, this is really what I need. And to see all of these other benefits that I got, this was just a byproduct, I was stoked. I was stoked. But it was something that I'd never done before that my body really, really responded well to. So that's my journey. So my journey now creates this passion about helping people explore intermittent fasting for themselves, because I've literally experienced incredible benefits firsthand, with weight loss being one of the biggest health challenges right now. So many people come in to the group on Facebook. They come and they talk to me. They send me emails. People are after advice right now on weight loss because it's one of the biggest challenges, and I get it. But this is actually one of the easiest and most effective methods that you can begin to implement right now. And intermittent fasting is free. That's the best part. You're actually going to save money because you won't be spending as much money on food, because you won't need to eat as many times a day. I'm literally saving you guys money right now. You can thank me later. So in our advanced training program, we're going to deep dive into the top 7 intermittent fasting protocols. And the program I'm going to talk about later, but we literally talk about 7 different ones so that you can find the one that resonates with you. But we don't have time to go into that right now. So I'm going to take you through a strategy that I did that got me the results and feeling good pretty quick. Are you still with me? And does this sound good? Do you want to know what I did? Basically. Hopefully you all do. There is a little bit of delay. Okay, perfect. You're still with me. But first, what is intermittent fasting? Yes, Michelle. Yes, Gloria. All right. People are here with me. I love it. Thank you. Firstly, intermittent fasting, it's not a diet, but a dieting pattern, if you will, where you fast and you feast on purpose. It's actually based on the concept of feast and famine that our ancestors lived. So this is going back to our ancestors. Fasting's been around since life. You know, this is what we did, but right now we're living in this world where we're constantly eating. We're constantly told that we need to eat. And so what we need to remember is that any type of fasting is done on purpose. And so we know when the food is going to re-enter our body. So it's not going to put us into a starvation mode. We're literally fasting and feasting on purpose. But how do I maximize fat burning mode, Sam? That's a great question. Now, each time you eat, you spike your insulin levels, which is known as the storage hormone. The more that you eat, the more energy is stored inside the liver and the fat cells. And this can be helpful. I mean, this is helpful during periods of fasting because that's what gets released into your body. But when your body is in the fasted state for longer periods of time, it can begin to use fat for fuel instead of using glucose. So therefore, instead of burning what we've just eaten, we give the body a chance to burn through stored and visceral fat. Visceral fat is a dangerous kind, and that's like if you see people that hold a lot of weight in their stomach, then that's visceral fat that's like causing damage, and it could be really dangerous around our organs and our survival. And so being able to tap into visceral fat and releasing that is so, so important. Now, if you have a lot of sugar to burn first, the best thing about fasting is that it will help do that, and then it will move to burning fat. So if you do have a lot of visceral fat, or you know you've got a lot of body fat, then it's gonna get through that first before it then starts to churn through and turn you into fat adapted. Now, it also begins to balance out our hormones that play a part in weight, like normalizing ghrelin and leptin levels. These are the hunger and starvation hormones. So ghrelin increases appetite, which plays a role in storing fat, basically. And ghrelin increases the appetite, whereas leptin does the opposite. Now, what you need to remember is that when our hormones are out of whack, this is obviously going to play a major role in how we're responding, how we're eating, how we're choosing to eat, and how we're out of control. And a lot of the time, this plays a huge role in people not being able to lose the weight because their hormones are all out of whack. And so intermittent fasting actually is a way in order to balance this out. You can also do other natural things to help this process. Like I'd be looking at your diet choices. So making sure you're making good choices when it comes to what you're putting in. I'd look at your exercise. What are you doing exercising daily? How are you moving your body? How do you sleep? How are you sleeping at night? Like good enough sleep is super important, especially for hormonal imbalances. And also stress management. When we're stressed, often it sends these particular hormones out of whack. And that's what makes us go and just like binge eat and go for the bad things and, you know, want to eat more, and we just have no control, and we're eating like at all crazy hours and like not eating the right things. Stress management plays a huge role. So if you're also looking at intermittent fasting, but you also can fit in those 4 components, then that's also a really good natural way to balance out the hunger and starvation hormones. It also promotes human growth hormone. So human growth hormone is also needed for cell regeneration, for growth of healthy muscle tissues and brain and other organs of the body. But human growth hormone also plays a role in weight loss and being able to lose weight. Now, there is some studies that were done. Here's the science for you. the research. There was actually a 12-week randomized study that was done and published in Hormone Research. If you don't want to go and read like the science stuff, then Dr. Axe explains this really well, and the link's there if you want to check it out. But basically, the study suggests that in obese participants who eat a caloric restriction diet, their growth hormone accelerates the loss of body fat and improves growth hormone secretion. We also go into this more in depth in the program as well, so you can understand where that is. Like, it's insane how much your human growth hormone can increase when you're intermittent fasting. It's like by 2,000% for males and like up to 1,300% for females. So a lot of, one of the strongest men in the world eats one meal a day. And so, this is insane when it comes to what it can actually do to our body when we step out of the way. Now, there was another study that's done on pubmed.gov. You can go there and check this out. It suggests that intermittent fasting done with or without exercise or changing their diet still shows to be an effective way to prevent weight gain. So if you did nothing but literally just change your eating window, then it's been proven that you're still going to be able to prevent weight gain. Wahey. So a lot of people are looking for, different ways in which they can change and lose weight, and they're looking at all of these pills and these shakes. Do you know what? If you just changed your eating window, then I guarantee the results will come. So let's remember that. Okay. So that being said, a great way to add a fasting window into your lifestyle is the one that I did straight away, which was the 16/8 method. So we fast for 16 hours. So an example of this might be between 8 p.m. and 12 p.m. you're fasting, and then you eat within an 8-hour window. So you might choose the 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. window, which is really common. But why I chose this window, well, as well as honoring our body's natural cycles, we are also supporting the process of detoxification and autophagy. Now, autophagy meaning that we give our body the chance to go through the process, eliminate what it doesn't need, regenerate, rejuvenate, and recycle anything damaged or foreign proteins that shouldn't be in our body, and we start to become fat adapted. Now, we're also looking at the body's natural cycle. This is what I was most interested in when I started this process, is that our bodies go through this process between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. of really taking in the food that we've just eaten. So it starts to assimilate all the nutrients and it takes in, and the digestion goes to work, right? And digests. From 4 a.m. till noon, our body goes through detoxification. And then we're able to start to work on this process, and we can enhance this process, and we can do things that will assist this process. This is when we start to lose weight and burn body fat, because we're not waking up straight away, breaking this detoxification process and putting food into our bodies. We're giving it a chance to do what it already was meant to be doing. And then from 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. if we're eating, that's the best time to start to eat. So that's what I did, and that's what I really honored, and that's what I really felt right for me. But here's your bonus tips. Make sure your 4 elimination channels are working effectively, and utilize tools to support this during your fasting window. So the 4 channels of elimination are so important when it comes to, well, firstly, assisting your detoxification process, but also when you start to change anything, when you're in fasting, you want to make sure these are working. So hydration, you need to make sure you're hydrated enough so that you're going to the toilet a lot. So you're urinating. And you want to make sure you're drinking at least 1 liter per 22 kilos of water a day. You also want to make sure you're sweating. I used to have this thing where I thought it was weird to sweat. Like, it was like so not ladylike. Now I love it. It's like one of my most favorite things to do, like just sweating it out. You feel so cleansed and rejuvenated. So sweating is super important. Now, if you can do that during this time of detoxification, you're going to be supporting that process and allowing things to come out that, are meant to come out through your skin and through sweating. And like, if that means you go and do your workout in the morning, if you're a morning person, then get a sweat up. If that just means going for a walk and just walk a little bit faster and build yourself into a sweat, Or if you have a sauna, saunas are incredible and one of my favorite things to do. Sweating in the sauna definitely starts to help that process, helps to start to work the drainage of the lymphatic system, and it's going to make you feel incredible throughout the day. Breathing exercises also. So a lot of the time we don't breathe. That's just fact. Like we think we're breathing, but we're just not. And this is like deep breathing, much like me right now. I'm probably not breathing. But we want to deep breathe into our stomach. We want to go right into the diaphragm and we want to breathe. In fact, everyone do that with me right now. Take a deep breath in. And out. And now feel the difference in your chemistry, in your body right now, how you're feeling just by taking a deep breath into your diaphragm, into your stomach. We don't do this enough. This is one of the greatest ways that you can detox, just by breathing. When you're fasting, if you're struggling through a fast, do it through a few breathings and you'll feel 100 times better. We forget to breathe. It's super detoxing for us. And defecation is another one. You need to make sure you have regular bowel movements. If you need an assistance, then there's enema kits. You can go and see you can go and get a colonic. There's so many ways in which that can help this process. Start by eating more fiber. Do some breathing and meditation. Often that gets things moving. But we need to make sure that all 4 of these, not just one, but all 4 of these are working effectively. And if they're not, then you've got some work to do, because these are so, so important. If they're not working, there's a blockage somewhere in your body. And if there's a blockage, then whatever needs to come out of your body is being blocked from coming out. And so it's kind of like, okay, I can't come out through the skin. Let me come back down, and I'm just going to create a situation inside of your body that makes you deal with it. That might look like cancer. That might look like rashes. That might look like something going on in your body because it can't come out. So we don't want blockages, we want flow. Life is about flow. Our bodies should be about flow. These are so important. So really want to make sure you guys are aware of that. The other thing is high intensity interval training. So before you break fast, it's known to ensure longevity and optimal health, but also maximize the fat burning state. So if you're up for it, then do some fasted cardio or fasted high intensity interval training. I absolutely love doing that. It feels so good to me. And I used to be someone who used to get up an hour before I trained and eat a banana because I thought I couldn't do it on an empty stomach. But the more detoxing I did with my body, the more amazing it feels. And and people get incredible results from that as well. And then of course, listen to your body. If it doesn't feel good, stop. That's all. You have to try it to see, and try it for a good period of time, like a month would be good. But if it doesn't feel good, if something's not working, if you're feeling worse than you were feeling before, then maybe it's not the right protocol that you need to start on. Maybe you went in too quick. Maybe we can look at some crescendo fasting. Crescendo just means that you start smaller. So you might start at a 12-hour window and then you progress each week and add something on so it feels good. So don't overlook listening to your body as well, because if it doesn't feel good, stop. Dr. Pompa, don't eat less often. This was also another thing that I learned, is that just because I was eating within an 8-hour window now and typically only eating 2 meals a day, then it's not like I was restricting my calories and cutting back on my calories. I was eating until I'm full. And I do this now. Sometimes I only eat like 1 main meal a day, but I go to town. I'm feasting. This is amazing. This is my feast. And as women especially, we're so often being brought up in have small meals, don't eat everything that's on your plate. You want to make sure that you're eating until you're full, eating until you're satiated. And it's not about cutting back calories or all of that stuff. It's you eat what you need to eat and what nourishes you, and eat less often and don't snack. because every time that you snack and every time that you eat, your insulin levels rise, and then you store the fat, and then the process starts all over again. So if you can limit the amount of times that you put some food in, but when you do put food in, you go to town, then that's great. Professor Voltalongo says for people that are looking to lose weight, then two meals a day plus one small snack is beneficial. So stick with that. Don't eat less often. So this is a protocol that I did when I first started. This is a protocol that I loved and what worked really well. This is super popular. And, you could go on and you can look up, Dr. David Jockers has incredible information on the 16-8. So does David Asprey. Like, so many people have great information on this, and there's so much science out there on this particular protocol. If you're wanting more information, then you can go there. But you know what? We take all of that guesswork out for you, and we deep dive into our intermittent fasting advanced program. And so how can you fast track your own success with intermittent fasting? I really hope that you've been sitting there asking yourself this question, because this is it. I'm going to show you how you can do this, how you can fast track your own success and try it for yourself. Because without trying it for yourself, how do you know if it's going to work or not? Our mission is to help you achieve your health goals by guiding you through a program that makes sense to you and resolves any inner conflicts that you have that are holding you back. That's also another thing. When you're on this journey by yourself, then often we're actually like getting in our own way. Does anyone else find that? Like, you're literally getting in your own way of your own success because of all the beliefs, all of the hard times, all of the changes you're going through, all of the people that aren't supporting you, all of the chocolate cake that looks better, all of the different things, all of the excuses. So we're going to help you achieve your health goals by guiding you, because that is truly why I think we're here right now sharing this information with you, because it really makes me excited that you're here listening and willing to go there. So what are we going to do? We've got the intermittent fasting program, and here is our 3-step approach to an intermittent fasting transformation. Here is a 3-step approach. We have 13 core modules on intermittent fasting. We're going to take the guesswork out when you're trying to figure this out. When you're trying to figure out what's right for you, well, let's help, because we're going to lay it all on the table. We're going to lay all of the important pieces of information out in front of you so you can make a confident decision for what is right for you and your unique circumstances. We're also bringing in 6 expert guest lectures. Now, we've studied fasting extensively for years, but 2 opinions are better than 1, right? In fact, 6 opinions are better than 2. We have 6 complimentary workshops to help take your intermittent fasting to the next level. Now, we have some incredible speakers there that share so much different perspective. They have so much different knowledge. They have so much different success, where, you could talk to James Clear, and he's going to go into building this as a habit. How do we break through those barriers that are holding us back and create this habit into something that you just do as a part of your lifestyle? You then, if you don't want to do the 16/8, Kate Harrison goes in depth onto the 5-2 diet, what that looks like, how she's transformed, how she's made that into her lifestyle. So we're bringing in 6 expert guest lectures so that you can learn from them. And we've also got easy, simple, and nutritious recipes. We have a full page of simple recipes for you to implement, because we have carefully designed these recipes so that they require minimum amount of ingredients for a maximum output. They're designed to help you or assist you in healing the body from the inside out. Because we know what it's like as well. Like, you don't want to look at a recipe and see like 1,001 ingredients and then like all these things that you need to do, and then it's just like, I don't even know how to start. I get that. I love being in the kitchen now, but I love simplifying in the kitchen. And so that's what that's about. Just so you can just be on your way and just start and have the most simple transition. Intermittent fasting program. I'm so excited about this, guys. And this is the 13 modules that I was talking about. So we've got module number 1, intermittent fasting introduction. Module number 2, myths about fasting and nutrition. Module number 3 is going to go deep into the intermittent fasting protocols. Like I said before, we've got 7 Like there's like 7 top ones that people know about, and we're going to take you into each one of them. We're going to dive deep into each one of them and show you the ins and the outs and the pros and the cons, so that you can go, do you know what, I really resonate with that one, and that's the one that I'm going to be willing to try for me right now. The upside is that if that's one's not working, then you've got another 6 to choose from to see if they work. And you can just play. I love, that's one of my most favorite things, is exploring what works for me. Because what works for me right now, or what worked for me 3 years ago, might not work for me right now. So knowing that there's options and flexibility and adaptation that needs to take place, because we're dynamic, we live in a dynamic life, and our bodies are dynamic and they need change, then this is a really good way. This is going to give you all the information that you need in order to do that. Module number 4 is common mistakes people make when starting. This is something that people don't talk about. We don't talk about what happens when you don't do it right, when you do it the incorrect way. Let's just nail it from the beginning, and you'll see results super quick. Number 5, how the body works when intermittent fasting. We're going to talk about what's actually going on a physiology level, what our body's going through, and why intermittent fasting is having this effect. I'll go deeper into intermittent fasting and is it safe for women? We'll also look at some celebrities and athletes using intermittent fasting, so you can see that, you know, if you don't know already, that there is so many people out there that you might not even expect that have had incredible results from just by implementing this. We'll also talk about module number 8, the health benefits of intermittent fasting. And then number 9, developing the right mindset. As I mentioned before in my journey, the moment that I let go and that I started to really just be unattached to the outcome and create the right mindset and the right mindfulness practices that I did every single day, then the results came easily, effectively, efficiently, like so quick. The moment that we overlook and we overanalyze and we get caught up in this negative belief and we get stuck and we get in this spiral and we don't work on the mindset, we don't work on these things, and we can't move through that. We can't expect change to occur when we're stuck in that. And so developing the right mindset is key. And so this is going to be a really good core module that you can go through with us to really put you on the right step. And then module number 10, the fundamentals to good nutrition. We'll also look at module number 11, incorporating exercise. Number 12, how to implement an effective protocol. And number 13, advanced intermittent fasting strategy. So we're going to give you all of this, and then we're going to go even more advanced for people who would just on the journey and just go and go and going and want a little bit more. One of the things I've noticed is that when I was starting on this journey, there was no program out there that was affordable and effective. It's actually no wonder that we're constantly getting asked questions on the exact same thing. And this is exactly what we thought, because this information is life-changing. So we knew we had to share. So if you're ready to lose that stubborn fat, if you're wanting to get more energy for life, and you want to assist your body in healing from the inside, or literally you just want to make health easy again, then this is for you. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the complete unlimited digital access, valued at $168. It's a lifetime on-demand access to all of these video files for you to watch. So all 13 modules in a members area, super valuable. You're also going to be able to download the recipe book straight away and get cooking. We're also going to give you the weekly meals and shopping guides, so that literally you don't even have to think of twice. You just take the shopping list and you go and you get your stuff and you get ready to go into the kitchen and get cooking, which is super easy. You also get a 4-week online fasting program to get you taking action on the results fast. You also be in the, if you're not already, you're going to be in the like-minded, you're going to be around like-minded people so that they can support you on their fasting journey in our mastermind group on Facebook. And you'll have exclusive invitations to extra trainings, Q&As, exclusive masterclasses. And you know what? If you're not 100% satisfied with everything that you've just gotten and your experience and the results that you're not getting, that you will be getting, we've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. But don't just take our word for it, because I know that I could probably be a little bit biased at times because I'm so passionate. Don't just take our word for it. we put it through a few key people that we've been working with through our program. And this is Elsa from Sydney. This is what she said. I found all of this information amazing. Even though I already knew quite a lot about intermittent fasting, I'd been doing it for the last 18 months, I found this information amazing. I loved how clearly and easily you described a lot of the scientific-based benefits of intermittent fasting. It made me feel a lot more confident in talking to others about this now. It was also a great refresher on some other points for me. I loved the myth-busting section and how you discuss all the negative feedback people may give you when you tell them what you're doing. I found all the information really easy to understand and delivered so enthusiastically by both of you. I am really looking forward to going through the other modules and coming back to some of these when I feel I need them. Thank you, Elsa. And there is somebody else's word for it who's been through the program themselves, is constantly wanting to go back when she feels that she needs it, which is another valuable thing to have, is that you go on this journey and you get so far and then you kind of plateau and you need a little bit of inspiration or motivation or something different to do. It's really great to then go back and go, okay, where am I at? What do I need to learn? Thank you. So if you're ready to drastically improve your life in a short period of time in a way that is simple and effective, then we have a one-time offer just for you today. The complete intermittent fasting program is normally $197. But for you right now, it's just $77. That's it. Now you can use that link to access it, but that's all we're asking is $77. We're literally giving you a 60% discount right now to have access to everything that we've just mentioned. And by the way, you'll make this $77 back in your first week from all the food that you're going to be saving. For the money that goes on food that you're now going to be saving because you're going to begin this journey straight away of intermittent fasting, you'll literally make that back maybe in a couple of days. But right now, that's all it is. Plus, as a bonus, we're going to give you access to a 28-day fasting kickstart program, which is normally $97. But this program covers all aspects of fasting. So it looks at intermittent fasting, it looks at juice fasting, it looks at mindset, integration. You can literally start off right now on this 28-day program. You start with intermittent fasting. You might be ready for a juice reboot. You then have all the mindset tools that you need and the integration to make this part of your lifestyle. And then you've got our 13 core modules to go straight into to really send you on your way. That is absolutely transformation. Like you literally, I'd be so excited to see all the results and the transformations that come for that, because what an incredible way to start. So try the intermittent fasting program risk-free. If you aren't satisfied, like I mentioned, literally you've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. We know fasting works, but we want to see you experience it in your own life. I think this is so important, like exploration of yourself. If you're not trying it, if you're just constantly reading what other people have to say, looking at what other people have to say and not trying it for you, then what's the point? It's time to try it for you now. It's time to see if it works on your body. It's trying to transform your life instead of sitting back and letting other people transform their world around you. If within 30 days you decide it's not for you, then we're going to refund your money and let you keep the recipe book. That's right. It's literally 100% risk-free. So come and join us, because let's face it, it's so much better changing your life together with people who get it than to be on your own. Now, if you agree with that statement, tell me that you're still with me and tell me that you agree with that, because I love sharing this with people. I love watching people's journey. And I think that being surrounded by this group of like-minded people on this journey, having this program to fall back on, then you have no other option than to achieve the results that you want. So come and join us. I'm going to come back on the screen now. Well, I'm going to try. Stop. Hello, I'm back. So come and join us. Like I said, all the links are there that you need to take action right now. A one-off payment of $77 gets you access to all of this right now. for you to change your life, to go deeper into intermittent fasting, to be able to be guided in the way that you need, and to have all the information, everything laid out on the table. If you've been asking questions about intermittent fasting, now is the time for you to go exploring within yourself and try it for you. If you're here right now, then ask yourself, why are you here? Why are you here? Because if you're here right now, then obviously you care more about doing something that's going to change your life, your health, your weight, your lifestyle, whatever it is. Find your reason why. Connect with that. Connect with that reason why. And ask yourself, is it worth $77 today? So you'll be joining Mitch and I as we share these incredible 13 modules with you. And I hope that you enjoy them. Thank you so much for joining me on today's masterclass. I'm going to see if anyone has any questions. Please let me know if you have any questions. And I can access the link. I can't access the link. You can't access the link. Okay, great. That's a challenge, isn't it? That's challenge number 1. Good. It's just testing you, just to see how badly you want it. And we'll get this link sorted ASAP. Any other questions? Do I have any other questions? I would love to know what your thoughts are, what you want to learn more about, or what you're thinking, what's coming up for you, what challenges are you having, what's holding you back. Tell me all of the things. And I'm going to do my best to answer them. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle's popped the link in the chat box, so you can have a look at that. Hey, Sarah. You already eat with a 7 to 8 hour window. However, I have a bulletproof coffee, vitamins in the AM, and other vitamins at bedtime. Do these things break the fast? So technically, the way that you break a fast is when you consume any sort of calories. So bulletproof coffee is consuming calories. However, it is designed to keep you in ketosis, meaning that it's giving you similar benefits to if you were in a fasting state. So that's fine. I know, it depends on what you're after, but I think if you like that, I think that's fine. It keeps you in ketosis, so you're still going to be burning fat. But bulletproof coffee is technically breaking a fast, but they have designed it in a way that it's assisting that process, if that makes sense. If you wanted to stay in a fasted state, just go to black coffee. Because you can have black coffee and herbal teas. It doesn't switch on your digestive system. You're not consuming any calories, so that can continue. Vitamins, I would say that's fine as well. If you want to continue to take them at that time, that's fine. Otherwise, I don't know if there's time frames that you need to take them at, but you could just take them just before you're about to eat as well. Probably has the same effect. Hopefully that answered your question. Hey, Sheila, I'm doing keto. Is it compatible? Absolutely. You don't have to look at you don't have to go by our recipes if you don't want to all the time. It might be something that you add in every now and then. It's good to cycle in and out of the keto diet. But definitely, this is so all about fasting. And, Dr. David Jockers is one of our great friends of the Fasting Summit. And he talks about keto and intermittent fasting, that's what he talks. He loves that. He thinks they go so well together. So definitely compatible. And I think you'd gain a lot of knowledge out of the advanced strategies of intermittent fasting and how you can apply that to what you're already doing. Tracy, tried it before. I did not lose any weight. Also, does it increase cortisol levels? Tried the link she typed in and doesn't work either. Cool. Michelle and Tracy are on the link situation. Good. Thank you for trying that out. Okay. So when you've done intermittent fasting, firstly, my question would be, how long did you do it for? My next question would be, what was going on hormonally for you? Because often if our metabolic system is squashed, then it might do the opposite. It might do the reverse, and it might hold on to fat. And so what you can do is, if it didn't work, I would try a different protocol until one works. And that might mean that for a couple of weeks, you need to eat 3 square meals a day, and you need to get your metabolic system, metabolism back up to balance, energy balance. And then once you've gotten to that place and you feel really good, then I would then begin it again and see how it feels. You know, I had a personal story about that too. I had the exact same thing happen. I got incredible results at some point in my life for intermittent fasting. And then at this stage in my life, wasn't working. I was like, what's happening? Like, I'm storing fat. I'm not losing the fat. But what was happening is that my metabolism was squashed. It wasn't working. So for 2 weeks, I ate 3 meals a day. I ate 3 meals. I actually ate like a lot of food in that time. Like, I was like, this is crazy compared to what I was used to doing. But I ate 3 meals a day and was exercising. And I then did that for 2 weeks. And then after the 2 weeks, started intermittent fasting. Wow. The things that I noticed, like the way that I was feeling, like it really showed how out of balance I was and how much that helped just by coming back into balance. You can feel it. Like, I automatically was no longer hungry really early in the morning, whereas before it was a struggle to do the intermittent fasting to get to like 11 a.m. because I was like so hungry, and I was having black coffee in the morning to like get me through to get there. So I was finding that it was a stretch and it was a struggle. And so that's probably a really key sign that something doesn't feel right, something's not right, if it's a really big stretch and struggle when you've been doing it for a long time. Initially, you might go through that because your body's adjusting, and that's cool. But if you've been doing it for a long time and you're struggling, it's like that something's not right. So after this 2 week refeeding, I guess you could call it, it was super easy for me to intermittent fast. I like literally was like, oh, it's like 2 o'clock and I haven't even like thought about food yet. So I noticed a shift in that. I noticed my energy levels shifted. Like I had heaps more energy and clarity and focus. I was like getting a lot of brain fog. And so I had a lot more clarity and focus and stuff, especially in that fasted window at the start. So it might just be something that you need to do to go the opposite way. So get yourself back in balance. Perhaps try that technique if you like, or you perhaps might need to look at some hormonal imbalances that are happening. Check with your doctor or a functional doctor or someone that can measure those levels and see what's out, or just check in within as well. Sometimes you might have an idea and you're kind of second guessing that. Cool. Mitch has put the link in there as well, so you could, hopefully the link that he's put in there works. Any other questions come through? There might be a little bit of delay, but let me know if you have any more questions before we wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me again. If you're trying to click the link and it's not working, then you might want to clear your cookies in the browser or your history, and then see if it works. Click it again. Perfect. I don't know if anyone has any more questions, but if you do have any more questions, and I guarantee they're going to be answered in our advanced program of intermittent fasting. So if you haven't already, click the link. If you're having trouble, let us know. You can email us at hello@fastwaytohealth.com if you're really struggling. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. Come and join us on a program, and I guarantee that you are going to be mind blown with the results that you'll be able to get into your life, and also the amount of possibility that's there. So thank you again for joining me, guys, and I will see you all soon.